Hey guys, welcome to another awesome episode of The Joy of God. I'm your host, Gabe, right? Hell, up in here. Oh, we about to get spiritual all up in here. You know what it be. We all are gonna be up in here. Yeah, feels good to be alive today. Every day. And today, I figured seeing how this episode's gonna be a special one because we're gonna talk about love. Not just, any kind of love. We're talking about unconditional love. Oh my. Oh yes. Because it's going to be that Valentine's Day all up in here. So we gonna get it going. Because regular love, that's one thing. But, if you think about it, it's all love is maximal if you think about it. So really, if you ain't having that love, if it's all bodily, hey, that's for another time though. Oh man, I'm having too much fun. I'm having so much fun. Now we're gonna get all into that love. I mean, the thing we gotta think about, and I'm gonna keep these episodes a little bit short. I kind of got it going all up in here for that last episode. We got a little, when I get going, stop me now. We're gonna try to keep these a lot shorter, like 10 minutes or so. But yeah. So when it comes to things like love, it's very much so. It starts from within. When you have the mentality that you're externalizing your situation or whatever it might be. A lot of times that's when you become a victim of circumstance. You gotta look at life like as a mirror. And before I get started too much, you'll be able to you can follow along if you like from the different books that I'm going to be using for today. We're going to be talking from the Bhagavad Gita, A Course in Miracles, and also Prose Works by Mary Baker Eddy. So, yeah. And I'll tell you the passages and what have you when I get to them. So, bingo on that business. And yeah, enjoy. But as I was saying, it's like a mirror in a lot of ways. And it's one of those things where when we look at that, our lives are reflective of how we are within. Because as you are within is how you will perceive without. And that's the biggest thing. Because if you're a negative person, the world seems like a very negative place. You seem out of control. It seems like it's just negative. Because that's what's bouncing back at you. And when it comes to then on the flip side, you look at that with the positive mentality and that of a loving mentality, then everything seems right in the world. You're taking back the control that you rightfully deserve. Love is we say that love is a very vulnerable, you're very vulnerable when it comes to being in love. And in a way you are, but you have to look at it as love needs no defense in that regard, because there's nothing to defend, because it understands the truth of your situation. When you have to start defending yourself and all that stuff, then you're going down that path of a lost way. Because when you're in love, man, everything just boom. When you have that love, it's all good. It's all cleared up, the clear, easy road. And that's what it's all about. Because really, the fun thing about love, going into the fact that now that you realize that, hey, it's all about your energy that you express, when you aren't loving, or when you have these sort of special relationships where it's kind of just me and you and nobody else, that's when you get into some dangerous stuff. Because Jesus says in A Course in Miracles in chapter 6, about to give all to all. That's the main important thing. Because in order to have, it's like, you can't keep it to yourself. That's the biggest thing. You got to be able to give it out. And when you do that, you in turn actually keep it. It's when you try to keep it away from everybody, when you try to hold your light, hide your light, that's when you lose it. And things like jealousy start to erupt. Jealousy, deceit, and all the negative things that we never want with love that seem to follow when we have those sort of special relationships. Now, I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to be, like, advocate, like, polygamy or something, like, oh, well, you have a physical relationship with this person, just do it with everybody. No, it's not so much like that. It's kind of like a sport. Think of it like this. It's like sports, how someone may be really good at basketball, another person's really good at baseball or running or what have you. There's plenty of ways for you to express that love to different people in different ways, but it can all still be maximal. You know what I mean? Treat everybody like your brother. That's the biggest thing. And that actually brings me to the Bhagavad Gita from chapter 5, action, or Karma Yoga, action and Krishna consciousness, and where it's Krishna is talking about when he says, one who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. And when you look at it like that, you know, everybody is lovely to you because you are lovely within. So it's only what you see and what you perceive is largely based on how you are from within. So you gotta change what's going on within you. You know, that's the biggest thing. I mean, this ain't trying to make you feel bad. If anything, expose the supposed bad in your life to get rid of it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't like that bad in my life. That's just me, though. I mean, I'm just saying. You know, and here's the fun thing. Here's actually a fun game you can play. You know, because it's like a muscle. It's just like a sport, how you've got to develop it. You've got to train it. On the same way, you've got to train your understanding of love. It's just like with anything. I mean, it takes time. It takes practice, especially in this day and age when so much of it is love is seen so, you know, lustful and, you know, material, instant gratification. You know, nobody wants to work at a relationship anymore. It takes time. It takes work. Patience. Patience is a good one. But a fun thing you can do, and it's just, you know, it's all about the daily stuff that you do. It's not about some big grand display. That's not what it's all about. It's about those little things, because that's what it's all about. I mean, a person who runs like a 4-minute mile, he didn't just wake up one day. You know, somebody didn't just wake up one day and become rich. No, it was through these daily things. And you don't have to make it some big chore. You know, one thing you can do, I thought of this yesterday, is here's a game you can play. See how many loving things you can do in a day. You know, I mean, it's not to turn this into like a checklist, oh, I did more than you kind of thing, but rather it's for that self-improvement. And I think that's the biggest thing you have to look at. So, I mean, one thing that I had in mind is just every day, because we all, you know, every day, talk to someone on Facebook that you haven't maybe talked to before and just wish them a happy day. I mean, you'd be surprised at how much good you could potentially do. I mean, don't underestimate the good that you can do for someone else. And that small act might mean the world to someone. I mean, that's the craziest thing. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that, you know, one thing that I may have thought didn't mean much, you know, it meant the world to someone. I mean, think about it like that. What you do has effect in someone else's life. You know, and as you seek it out, the more you'll find of it, you know? There's like that parable about the 2 wolves that the person fed, and the one who survived was the one who fed it more, and something like that, some Indian parable. But that's just the point. What you feed more, you will get more of it. See, here's the thing. With love, which is of the Holy Spirit, it's of the mentality to seek and find. So, you know, if you're going down a path that just doesn't seem to have much fruition, which is that of the ego, to seek and not find, the exact opposite of the Holy Spirit, you know, go by feel, go by faith, and not so much by sight. That's the biggest thing. You know, and you'll see as your world literally transforms before your eyes. You know, when you feel like, all right, I want to just love people unconditionally and not care, and give that same love to everybody, it's over. That's the biggest thing, my friend. Son of a gun, I had something for prose words. I might not be able to talk about it much, but we're going to get it down to the wire. But it says that, where the heck's it at? I have these quotes that I don't even know where to find them. You know something? Never mind. We'll save prose works for another day. But anyway, that's all I got for today. We'll call it quits for there. We'll try to, yeah, we'll leave it there. So do that fun little game, because the hit's here right now. The light to shine in you, through you, to help others, so you can give that love. It's here, baby. Just gotta let it in. And so we're gonna leave it here. Like, subscribe, and comment if you want to. And above all else, I hope you guys have a blessed day, because when you find this, then you will understand that unconditional love. You'll find, through this you will find unconditional love, and through this you will find the joy of God. We had to tie that in. That's what I was wanting to do. But no cuts, baby. We're rolling with this. Anyways, yeah, so have a blessed day, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Peace!